and I am the Ratchet Christian. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. Last week I made an introductory video about, what you can expect from my channel. And so now this is my second video. If you missed the first one about what my channel is about, just go back and watch it. But basically every day I try to read the Bible before I go to bed, and then a little bit when I wake up in the morning. And I read the Bible once before all the way through, but it was a children's Bible, so it's kind of like I got the gist of it, but not really. And so this time I just went and bought like it's a real Bible from Borders. You can buy it from anywhere, just to read it this time, now that I'm older, so that it can make more sense. It took me 5 years to read the Bible the first time, so I'm trying to do it this time within a year, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm on Judges, and I started in like June, so that's some progress. Either way, I read the Bible every day, or at least I try to for the most part. And so as I'm reading, I just thought it'd be cool that I'll share with you guys whichever insights that I get, or which stories I think are pretty awesome, and not stories, but which chapters jump out at me, and whatever God puts on my heart about it. So I was reading through Judges, and I read through the story of Samson. And I've always heard about Samson. He was like the super strong guy whose strength was in his hair. Like always, you hear those Bible stories as you're in church and whatnot. But this is the first time I actually got to like read it for myself and have it make sense. And I was just like, wow, it was a really, really cool story. And there was a little lesson in there too. So I encourage you guys to go back and read it. The story of Samson is in Judges chapters 13 through 18. Go read it. It's very interesting. And basically, as I was reading it, if I can just sum it all up so that what I'm talking about will make sense. It's like Samson, his parents, an angel had appeared to his mother in the field and said, hey, God's going to bless you with this child. He's going to be like, like holy, sanctified. He's going to be set apart. He's going to be a Nazarite. Make sure when you get this baby, you don't cut his hair. So basically Samson was born. He was one of the judges for Israel after they had came into the promised land and just ratcheted up the whole thing, just were being crazy, and God had to send people to tell them about themselves. Samson was one of those people, and he was like a mighty warrior. He was kind of like Hercules, like a real life Hercules, and he was very strong. And he was sanctified. He was set apart. He was a Nazarite. There were certain things that he couldn't do. I think he couldn't touch anything dead. He couldn't touch any alcohol, and also he couldn't cut his hair. So those are just certain things that he had to abide by. But needless to say, with the story of Samson, you hear about the woman Delilah, and I've always heard about her part in the story, but not the details. Basically, she was a lady who tempted him and set him up and all this other stuff. Y'all, the Bible has some drama. Like, I'm the type of person that I used to love reality TV. I can't even say used to, because I'm still working on trying not to watch it. I'm trying to tell you I'm ratchet, but we're working through it, and you're probably ratchet, and you probably shouldn't be watching reality TV either. If you want to see drama, if you want to hear cheating, stealing, lying, killing, murder, read the Bible. There is some juice and some tea up in there. Those people are crazy. I'm just like, every chapter somebody's killing somebody, stabbing somebody, taking somebody's wife, having an affair. I'm just like, Lord, like, you must have a headache with us. Like, y'all thought Love and Hip Hop was crazy. Read the Bible. But God works it all out in the end. So it actually, it'll benefit you, whereas watching reality TV is just going to scramble up your brain and just mess you up. But I digress. Basically, yeah, so the story of Samson, he was married, lost his wife. He didn't lose his wife. I think his parents' wives took the wife back. You have to read the story. But so he met and fell in love with a lady named Delilah. And so basically Delilah, like, she was like not in love with him. She was basically using him. She was a Philistine, and Samson was actually sent to deliver Israel from the Philistines. And so the leaders of the Philistines, they came to her like, hey, we know Samson likes you. try to figure out like what's this guy's strength, because nobody could beat up Samson. You know, like he was a strong and mighty warrior. Like basically nobody could stand up against him. And so they wanted to know what his Achilles heel was. Like what is it going to take for us to really destroy this guy? So they came to her and said, hey, look, do us a favor, you know, get close to him and tell us what his weakness is. She's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you guys are going to give me silver, shekels of silver, money, whichever. I'll do it. And that's not any different from people that do stuff like that now to set people up. They'll take money and do this and that. Just craziness. There's nothing new underneath the sun. So basically they've been scamming people for a while. Joanne the scammer, nobody knew. She was around before. But so basically Delilah, she came to Samson and was like, hey boo, why don't you tell me like what makes you so strong? He was like, sure. So he told her like one time that, let me even just try to go and see, because I counted it was 3 times. He said, and this is Judges 16 verse 6, and Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, where thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. And Samson said unto her, if thou bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak, and be as other men. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. So basically he's saying, okay, this is my weakness. And she's like, okay, cool. So she herself went and tried to bound him. So I'm like, okay. Obviously Samson should be thinking, I told you that this is my weakness and now you're trying to tie me up. I guess that didn't register to him. So she tried to tie him up and called the Philistines like, hey, okay, I got him. The Philistines show up and Samson was like, psych, that's not really what it is. So he broke free and beat them all up. Cool. So time number 2 now. She said, and Delilah said unto Samson, and this is Judges 16 verse 10. And Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him therewith, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were liars in wait abiding in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arms like a thread. Twice now that he has told her like, okay, this is what you have to do to make me lose my strength. And so she bound him again. And you would think the first time you'd be like, okay, well, you obviously don't have my back. Let me stop messing with you. You're asking me questions to try to get close to me. But that didn't faze him. She did it twice. Okay, let's continue to read on. And so this is Judges 16 verse 13. And Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened it with a pin, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he waked out of his sleep and went away with the pin of the beam and the web. Needless to say, he told her something that where his strength lied 3 times, and 3 times she tried to set him up. And so I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, this is 3 times that you've seen this lady's obviously trying to set you up, trying to find out what your weakness is and use it against you. And so by the 4th time, she comes to him like, oh, you don't love me. You lied to me those 2 times, those 3 times. You don't really care about me because you didn't really tell me what your strengths are. And basically the Bible says she kept bugging him to the point where he's like, okay, fine. My strength is in my hair. I'm a Nazarite. I'm not supposed to cut my hair. If I cut my hair, I lose my strength. He finally told her. And so while he was sleeping, she got somebody to come and cut his hair. And then she called the Philistines to come and attack him. And guess what? They finally attacked him and overpowered him. And they put out his eyes. The great and mighty Samson. You know, they finally got him through Delilah. And so as I was reading that, I'm just like, Lord, like, you showed him so many times, like, look, this person doesn't mean well for you. This person is trying to get the best of you. They're trying to, you know, wish you harm. And the Lord just kind of like spoke back to me like, people do that every day. I show people every day that certain people aren't supposed to be in their lives, and that, you know, they wish them bad, but they continue to put themselves back in the situations with those people. And it's like, I can definitely attest to that. You know, there's definitely times where God has showed me certain friends, certain relationships aren't for me, and I stay, you know. And when you look back, you're like, wow, that person did a lot of stuff to me, or this friend did a lot of stuff to me, and I was still there. Like, you don't, hindsight is 2020. Like, when you look back, you'll see like, wow, like, I can't believe I allowed this person to do that, or can't believe I allowed this person to, you know, say this to me, or you know, just basically letting people betray you over and over again after God has showed you their true colors. You know, there's a saying where it's like, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And I think Samson is a great example of that. You know, like, his demise came to him by trusting the wrong person, somebody who loved. And sometimes it's the people who we love that can hurt us the most, and sometimes we bring the wrong people into our lives, and they're the ones that end up hurting us. So basically, I would just wrap this up by saying, like, just pay attention. You know, God, one thing he likes to do, he'll repeat himself. He'll show you something continuously. If somebody's not for you, he'll put that on your heart. He'll show it to you in various ways, but it's up to you to listen. You know, don't end up like Samson somewhere with your eyes put out and you losing your strength. If you're around somebody and you're losing your strength, and you're telling something to them in confidence and other people are finding out about it, you have to stop and think, like, if I told you something and other people know, then maybe you're the common denominator in this. And that's not to say, oh, don't trust people at all. No, you should trust people, but make sure that you're trusting the right people, and just pray about whoever it is that you bring into your life. And that's something I'm starting to do now. Like, just ask God, like, is this person supposed to be in my life? Am I supposed to be friends with this person? Am I supposed to hang out with this coworker? Should I, you know, give this guy a chance? I mean, up until this point, I'm just like a free and open book. I'm like, you want to be my friend? Come, let's be friends. You want to be my boyfriend? Let's go out. Like, just letting any and everybody walk into my life. And now I'm starting to be more selective. Like, I got to observe you for a while. And once you do something and I start to get to know you, I'll just be mindful. And that's what I always say. Like, you know, just be mindful of people, and just pray and ask God to reveal to you if they're supposed to be in your life. You'll save yourself a lot of time. So yeah, that was just a quick little second video. Let's work this out. If you're ratchet, you probably have ratchet relationships, ratchet friends, but we're gonna process that. We're gonna work through it. Like I said, the whole point is that we're trying not to be ratchet Christians. So try not to have ratchet friends. Don't have ratchet people in your lives coming in, setting you up, doing you all types of injustices. Like, and people were doing this way back in Jesus' time. There's nothing new underneath the sun, okay? There were backstabbers, scammers, liars, people trying to get over on you all the way back then. So don't waste your time. Just pray about people before you give them the time of day, or before you reveal something that God has for you to them. Well, all right, you guys, I will see you next time. If you want to come back and keep working on your salvation, but if you want to stay ratchet, that's fine too. It's not fine. Come back so we can fix it. All right, bye.